Thank you for first identifying this as a useful seminar. I'm a book coach and I have every month a master class on some topic related to writing your book, publishing your book, marketing your book. Melanie is joining us to talk about marketing your book. And I always pick people that I know have more expertise than I do. And sometimes they even have an offering. And I think Melanie is going to be sharing that with us here. But yes, this is what I do. And I hope, but now that you're on my mailing list, you'll probably get invited to all of my monthly updates and sessions. Next month, I'm going to do my own. I decided that I needed to share some of the things I'm learning along the way, and because I was not doing that, which some people said was crazy. Are you writing your book, Helen?
Actually, I'm about to publish a book. It's coming out at the end of this month. It's actually a children's picture book. Actually, it's not a children. It's a picture book in the guise of a children's book, but it's specifically for adults who have dementia. So it's for reading to them and amusing them and starting conversations with them.
Oh, Helen, I love that idea.
Thank you.
I've had another author that I worked with. She's created, it looks like a children's book, but it's really a message for us grown-ups, but it's in a way that is really easy to see and accept and hear. And so I think we're exploring all different types of ways to get our message to our right audience. So yay. I'm glad you're joining us here today, Helen.
Thank you. And I'm glad to be here.
Yes, yes. And hey, Joanne. Hey, Kim. There's some faces I haven't seen in a little bit.
I thought
Kim
this was
just
an exciting topic to be a part of today. So
Yes, it
very good.
is. Yes,
Yes.
it is. So Joanne submitted her manuscript, and so she's moving forward with her publisher. Kim has done the same, and you're even farther along, aren't you, Kim? I think the book is available now, isn't it?
We haven't launched yet. May 20th is the launch date.
Yay.
Yay!
Good.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Anybody else want to share where they are in their book journey? I always think this is fun to hear what everybody else is up to. Corey he had a manuscript that was completed. He submitted it to me for a review. I gave him feedback. He came back and he'd done all this hard work and accepted the feedback and turned it around. So he's on his way. So it's
Kathy, if I
exciting.
may share, because I've
Yes.
been in this stop go mode because of various reasons. And I did do my second editing round today. And so that's been submitted. And so we'll go to the third round, and then, of course, the layout and then the launch. And so I'm very pleased to be making headway because of the challenges that I've had with getting here. Yes.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. And hey, Lillian Davenport. That's a face I haven't seen for a little bit. Good to see you, Lillian.
Good to see you as well,
Yeah, thank
Kathy.
you for your nice testimonial. I will be including that on my materials going forward. So appreciate that and looking forward to having you reach out to me when the time is right. There's something that's happening on my Zoom, and maybe one of you can answer it. It's doing a little ding dong, like the doorbell's ringing when someone new is coming on. I don't want that to ding dong during the session. Does anybody know how to turn that off? Can you hear it?
No,
I have not
It
heard it.
I think
okay,
just
well,
your
good.
name.
I can hear it, but okay. And that's because Nelson just joined us. So, hey, Nelson, great to see you. Yeah. We're just saying there's this new doorbell sound that comes on but luckily not everybody else hears it. I'll do some sleuthing to figure out why it's doing that and how to turn that, because I think it's annoying. But anyway, but I'm so glad you all are here and so many familiar names and faces. And every month I do a master class on some topic that is related to writing your book, publishing your book, or promoting your book. And this month, we are so lucky to have Melanie Johnson with Elite Online Publishing joining us. Melanie is going to be talking about marketing your book. She is an amazing colleague. We're in a mastermind together that meets with other publishing and writing and editorial kinds of folks. And she always impresses me with her forward thinking and just always thinking ahead of the curve. And she's offering this amazing service for marketing your book, which I think so many of us are looking for. So, with that, Melanie, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'll be right here if you need me, but
If
feel
you
free
want
to
to feel
share your slides or whatever you'd like to do here.
Oh, and if we have questions along the way, Kathy, feel free to interrupt me and I can answer questions as well. So you just know a little bit about me. My background is I'm originally from Michigan. I now am in Houston, Texas, been here for a long time. They call me a damn Yankee because once you've been here for a certain amount of years and stay, that's what you become. And I started my career in broadcasting. So I was a TV newscaster, then TV producer and PR agent for the TV stations, and then was lucky enough to get an FCC license along with my former husband and I. We built a TV station from scratch. So some of you are old enough to know that TV used to be a really big deal. It's not as much anymore. And so we had a UHF station here in Houston and then one in Dallas. And so my background is really on TV stations, you sold ad time and did marketing. We had a business that nobody knew who we were, our TV station. So advertising and marketing has always been in my blood and my background. And then did some real estate redevelopment and marketed my house. I had a 25,000 square foot house that it was before Airbnb became a thing. And I had a 13,000 square foot house up in northern Michigan. And VRBO had just come out and I turned that both into rentals because the economy had a downturn. I had a divorce and then he had a bankruptcy and I started renting my mansions. And that's how I made it through the downturn. I made a website, houstonmansion.com, when I didn't even know how to make a website back then. And this was back in 2009. And then made those businesses six figures for a while when I still had those houses. And then fell into publishing. So I've been publishing for over a decade, but how we've differentiated ourselves is my business partner, Jen Foster. She's also been a marketer and a website developer, is that really we dive into marketing and think like business owners and marketers as well as publishers. So I think that's what makes our brain different. And Kathy's thinking she's always a little bit ahead of the curve because I can't help myself. That's how my brain is wired and operates. So today I want to tell you that what I'm going to teach you works for any type of book. It'll work for a children's book. It'll work for a fiction book. It'll work for a nonfiction book. Now, some of the things I will tell you, I think are more nonfiction oriented. I would say that's probably where Kathy and I lean into, is with nonfiction authors more than anything else, because there's more upside for a nonfiction author. There's a back end for them of their products and services and speaking. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen with you. If I can see where to do that. There we go. So I'm going to teach you marketing starts before the launch. So a lot of you are in that time frame right now, which I'm so happy because you're getting your book ready. So we're going to talk about doing that. And then today you're going to walk away with, hopefully is what I'll feel that you're going to get, is you're going to get 3 phases that we're going to go through, strategies that work for you before, during, and long after the launch. And I'm going to teach you some AI powered tools, some of my favorite tools that we use. I don't know if many of you are into AI or using AI. I'm going to encourage you to jump in, monkey around with it, and see what happens. And then we're going to try and give you a clear path to generate clients for revenue for your book. Oh, what happened? My slides don't want to go forward. Let's see.
I said Zoom has something new here.
Yeah, I was like, it worked beforehand. Okay, so phase 1. This is before the launch of your book. So many people tell me, I don't want to say anything about my book. I'm editing it. I'm getting it formatted. And so they're just silent. I want you to think about this. Many of you have maybe had a child that got married, or when you're having a baby, usually for a wedding, you're sending out save the date, right? You're announcing it. You're having baby showers, wedding showers. People are getting excited. They're asking you questions about where it's going to be, where the honeymoon's going to be, all the different details about it. So I want you to think of your book launch that same way. So when you're starting, we want to build your platform early. Some of you may have a large audience already. Some of you might not have an audience at all. So one of the most important things is to grow your email list and your social following and get that going months before your release. So even if you're going to launch 2 weeks from now, it's not too late. But some of you that have this longer runway, I call it, now is really the perfect time to get started and do that. You want to activate your network. So things that I want to talk about here are ways that you can do that. You're like, what am I supposed to say? How am I going to get buzz going? When you get your book cover, that needs to be told to everybody. Put it on social media, send an email campaign about it and show that. Document your writing journey. Oh my gosh, I had the worst day writing today. I had such writer's block, right? You can talk about all these different things. We had an author, which I loved. He would send out an email every other week or so, documenting what was going on with the book and the update. So again, think of it like maybe a wedding. Oh, I went dress shopping today for my wedding dress. Oh, I registered at the stores today. So think about that. You're documenting the journey of what you're doing. And it's not just the wins. You want to document the struggles too, so they can feel with you and they feel like they're a part of the journey, right? They're now vested in you and the book because they're seeing what's going on along the way. Also think about when a movie launches. I don't know about you, but about last time I went to the movies was around Christmas time, and they were already promoting the movies for summertime. So think about it that way. They've been doing that for decades and decades. So there's something to be said about that. Follow people who are doing success. Still not gonna let me go. Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. Pre-launch. So these are things to think about now, getting on a podcast or starting a podcast. Okay. So podcast interviews take a while to get on. We have 2 podcasts and we're booking for October already, and it's April. So it's never too early to start getting yourself situated for a podcast. Now, what goes into that is you need to have a profile all set up, what you're going to talk about, some questions you want to be asked, and then you need to search podcasts that you're a great fit for. There's automated things that you can do to do this, but I would start thinking about that and getting all those assets ready. And I want to back up just a second. There's 3 phases to your book. There's the writing of the book, right? It's time consuming. You put a lot of effort into that. Then there's the publishing of the book, making sure that's all right. The cover's great. The formatting's great. Getting all the ins and outs, especially if you're doing it yourself, right? Figuring out the categories, the keywords, all of those things to make sure it's right. Then there's the marketing of the book, and the marketing never ends. That continues on. But I think the most successful authors, they start marketing their book when they start writing their book. All right. So the other thing that's great to do is start communicating on LinkedIn. If you're a nonfiction book, start putting blogs out there, start shooting short videos of your journey and talking about your book. And then also securing media placements and press features. So it's really great if you can get articles written about you. So if you can start to even have articles pre-done that you can submit to different publications is great, but start thinking about those places that would be a great place for you to get media placement. And then create a compelling lead magnet. This is one of the things I tell authors all the time. Inside your book is the best place to have a call to action. So Amazon doesn't tell you who bought your book. You have no information on them whatsoever. I'm going to stop my sharing for just a second because I feel like I can't see y'all. I want to be able to see you. So you want to have a call to action inside the book. And what I'm going to suggest, what we suggest to all of our authors, I'll show you, this is our new book, Be Recognized, that you're going to get a link to a free copy of the digital copy of this. So this is where we have our bonus right here, a QR code, and then we tell you what's in there. And why do we put it in the beginning of the book? A lot of authors' intention is we should want to give them something or connect with them at the end of the book. If you do that, Amazon doesn't show this to them. If you have it in the beginning, that means in the preview of the book, they can get that bonus without even buying your book. People say, but I want them to buy the book. No, you really want their contact information. So then you can continue to get them on your email list. And when you come up with your next book, they're also a fan of yours. And hopefully you're going to send them an email. Hey, if you haven't got my book yet, here's the link to buy it. So that's why it's so important to grow your list and have that in the beginning of the book.
Melanie, that was just, let me just pause and say, brilliant. Brilliant. That's one thing, that's a tip I had never picked up before, but that is gold. And it's such an easy little thing to do. So yay, thank
Yes.
you.
And even think about it, when someone's holding your book, they're going and they're going to see the beginning of it. That's usually, they see those first few pages. So it's really important that you have that in the front of the book. Then I want you to raise your hand. How many of you have a CRM? A CRM is an automated email system that keeps all your contacts in it. Okay, let me say, how many of you don't have a CRM? Okay, this is a must-have. If you don't have this, we do this for our authors. We can set it up for you, and you need to have an email sequence. So what this does is, let's say you have your email list, whether it's 10 people or 10,000 people. You write the email, and then it sends it out to everybody at the same time. And you can see how many people opened the email, how many people didn't open the email, maybe how many email addresses aren't good anymore. It'll show you that too. And then just instead of doing it one email at a time, what we like to do is build a sequence. So especially for your book launch. So we have a sequence of email drafts that we give to our authors, and then they can personalize it. And so then it's pre-launch, launch, and post-launch. And so these are written ahead of time, and then you put them all into your CRM, and guess what? They're scheduled, and you don't have to think about it anymore. You write them, you schedule them, and boom, it's done. So, and if you're not technical, then hire a team like ours or somebody else to do it for you. Maybe you have a college student that knows how to do it, or somebody else that's in marketing that knows how to do that. Now, there's a lot of different CRMs. We use Go High Level, which is a little more advanced, but there's Constant Contact, there's MailChimp that you can use. But to me, this is a must-have for any author, because that's what stops you from doing the emailing. Oh my gosh, I got to write an email. I got to send it out. I got to click individual. I got to copy and paste the names if you're doing it that way. Or you've got like a whole list that you're copying and pasting 100 emails into one thing, and that's not the way you're supposed to do that. So this is what I recommend, is definitely get a CRM if you don't have, and it's cheap. A CRM doesn't barely cost you anything. It's definitely worth it. Okay. Then set up, if you want to have, if you're early, I don't always suggest this for authors, but you can have a landing page with pre-order on there. So the pre-order can be for either the ebook or the paperback book. Now on the paperback book, either on the pre-orders, then you're going to have to send them yourself. You'll get all their information, and then you put them in the mailers and ship them out. I would suggest put a little letter or something in there. And if you're like, Melanie, I got 150, you know how long that's going to take me? I don't have time to do that. Then there are places that will do that for you. You send the books to them. So you order your author copies, you send the shipping. You will have to pay shipping twice, because the mail order place, the fulfillment house is what it's called. A fulfillment center is going to charge you for the shipping and the processing to do it. They usually charge about $8 a book just for their service, plus whatever your book cost is. Excuse me. But I would recommend you can do that. And then with the ebooks, if you buy an ebook early, then you can grab gift links on Amazon, and then you can send them the gift links. You would lower your price to 99 cents, which most people do during their launch for their ebook, and then buy a bunch of the gift links and then send them the gift link. Okay. And then I talk about building a launch team. So your whole list is really your launch team, but think about it. Again, I go back to the wedding. So you have to pare your list down, right? You're not going to invite everybody you know to the wedding, but you want that group of people that are special, that you know are going to support you and buy your book on launch day. So you want your list to do a few things during the launch. You want them to buy the book for 99 cents when it comes out for the ebook. And then you're going to want them to share it on their social media, share it on their email, to their people. So you're borrowing their audience and they're going to send it out to their people. And then the third thing you want to ask them to do is leave a review. So again, there's people on your list, maybe you met once or somehow you're not even sure how you got their email address, and they might not be the people that are really going to support you. You have that group of whether it's 25, 50, 100, maybe you have 1,000 people, whatever it is that are really going to do that. And so you want to make that short list as well as having your big list. Okay. Let's see. We talked about emailing your full list, activate your team, and then reviews are a whole nother thing that we want to talk about. Let me just switch to this next thing. Okay. Then during the launch is really the time to hammer the message home. So right before the launch, you want to be like, think about it, it's like the Super Bowl or a big game, right? All of a sudden, you know it's coming, and then all of a sudden you see ads for it everywhere. It's all over the place. So you want to saturate it. You want to make sure you're saturated on social media. You're saturating your emails that you're sending to people. You're saturating the text messages. So the couple days before it's coming, in 2 days, we're launching our book. Make sure you buy it on this day. I'm going to give you the link and the things they're supposed to do. And then the day of the launch, I want you to treat it like a marathon. You're just going to keep pushing. So with our authors, we're pushing to get #1 bestseller, which we guarantee that you'll get that. So we really make sure you're pushing hard. So we're giving you updates. And then we're like, hey, even if you made it, we're like, we want to get more categories. We want to get more sales. So keep sending the text messages out. Hey, did you get my book yet? Just a quick reminder. It's still going today. We're still trying to get to #1 today. So you're just really pushing that the day of the launch. So think about that 24-hour to 48-hour period that you really want to saturate and get as many sales as you can when the book first comes out. And the reason for that is you're going to spike the algorithms of Amazon. Amazon's going to take notice of your book. And what's cool about that, like our authors have been next to the 5 Languages of Love. They've beat out Whoopi Goldberg. We've beat out really well-known books that have been on the New York Times bestseller. And then you get screenshots of your book next to these big books. And all of a sudden your book is exposed to the readers of these other high-end books, high-end meaning high sales books. Otherwise, you're way down at 1 million, 2 million, 5 million, and they're never going to find you. But if you show up next to these big wigs of their book, #1, it gives you credibility that you can have for the lifetime of your book. Hey, look at, I beat out Whoopi Goldberg. I beat out Gary Vee. We've beat out Tony Robbins before. So think about that you have that credibility going forward with your book that you can advertise and promote. Well, especially if you're a speaker, think about that. We invited Joanne Krimsky and she beat out Tony Robbins with her best-selling book. Doesn't that sound impressive when they're announcing you from stage? I think it sounds pretty impressive. So you want to make sure you're doing that during the launch. Okay. And then afterwards, thank people. So getting into the post-launch now, let me get down to the next slide. So after the launch, you want to make sure that you're thanking everybody, that especially your core group, right? That wedding group, I call it. Thank you so much for supporting me during the launch. If you haven't gotten my book yet, please still get my book. And a quick reminder to leave me a book review, because that's the next immediate phase, is getting those book reviews. So right now I'm talking about online sales. So it's like, to keep Amazon's algorithms going, you want to get those book reviews. Otherwise, it's going to drop down. So within the first 30 days, if you can get 50 book reviews, awesome. And then 30 days after that, if you can get another 50 and you're at 100 reviews, then the Amazon machine is going to keep going for you and working for you. So how do you get those reviews, right? It's not easy. Book reviews are not the easiest thing to get. It's easier to launch your book than get book reviews, because once the excitement of the launch is over, a lot of times people forget about it. And a lot of times authors don't think about asking for it. So the book reviews, that needs to be a 60-day campaign. So 60 days on your social media, 60 days on your email, 60 days on your text messages to remind people to leave the book review. And even better, if you've got that inside list of saying, hey, you've got my book. If you have a physical book, will you do a video review for me? Quick little with your iPhone. Hey, I love this book. It was the best book ever. This is what I got out of it. I bought it just a while ago. Boom, and upload it. Now, one of the secrets that we have is include instructions how to leave a review. So give them the link to the book reviews. So they're not going on Amazon because, some of us I'm over 60. I would go in there. I'm like, I can't even, last night I cleared out my spice rack. I couldn't find the expiration date on half the bottles. That's analog, people. So I encourage you to give them the link so they're not going on Amazon trying to figure out where do I click to leave a review, because it's not always right up and center. So leave a review. Here's the link to leave a review. So they've got it right there. And with any instructions that they need. That's really helpful. So that's the other phase of doing that, is keeping that algorithm going. And then don't forget about your book. So many authors just fall off a cliff. They're like, did my book. Phew, I'm exhausted now. That was a lot. And it is a lot. It's a lot to write it, get it edited, and then get it published. You feel like, all right, I did it. I'm going to go to the beach now and take a break. I don't have to do anything. But actually, this is when the real work starts to keep the momentum going. But if you planted some of those seeds, like I suggested in the beginning, of getting ready to be interviewed on podcasts, getting your media out there, having a book review campaign already in the works, having your email campaign set up for after the launch, and then still have an email campaign where you're letting people know what's going on with you and your book and growing your list. Are any of you speakers that are here? Do we have some speakers? Okay. So once your book is launched, even before, you can let people know your book is coming out, but start searching for places for you to speak and get that ready. Get your speaker sheet ready. Assume that your book has come out. You have a picture of the book. You want to have speaking topics in there from the book. I always say your book is your speech and your speech is your book. So get that ready. All right. And I know, like I said, we did this book this past year, and I never used to sympathize as much with my authors. I'm like, hey, this is a project. You got to get it done. Doing your day job and your life and doing a book, it's a lot. No lie. It can be overwhelming. Yeah. So
yeah. Hey, Melanie, Ann has a question. She's raised her hand here.
Hi.
Go ahead, Ann.
I'm working with a team from the International Impact Book Awards. And my book, Unpacking the Attic, actually has won 26 awards. They encouraged me to immediately write my next book, which I have done. It's with my editor. We're actually in production. And it's called Symphony of Self, Compose Your Life. Every chapter, I'm actually a musician and a composer. I have composed a 10 to 12 minute guided meditation with original music. So I'm taking the concepts of music and then comparing them to how we internalize our vibration and manifest the life we really should be living. So we have the teaching and then the meditation, learn, apply for all 15 chapters. I want to start a speaking career. I'm comfortable on stage because I'm a concert pianist. I've been on stage all my life. How would you recommend I go about now taking the online course I've recorded and the book that we're in pre-launch now, and how do I approach media and speaking gigs now to bring this into my ecosystem?
And I don't know if you've embraced AI at all. What I would do is I would go either into ChatGPT or Gemini or GenSpark or any of those and describe what you just described to me and say, I'm looking for speaking gigs for 2026, 2027. What would be the right venues and organizations and conferences for me to speak at? And it's going to spit out a list for you.
Okay, great.
I would also include in there, not just the events, give me the events, if they have the dates, the organizer or contact information and website to apply for to be a speaker.
Okay, great. Good, wonderful. Yeah.
All right.
And I built out the website, so we're in full mode here now.
Good. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to share my screen again real quick, just so you have
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so after the launch, so if you're already speaking, I say charge more for your speaking fees, but use the book different ways when you're speaking. So, Anne, since you're just starting out, you might not get paid right away, right? But you can say, listen, what I'd like to do is offer my book to everyone in the audience. If they want to buy X amount of books, I did a trade out. They wanted to give me a gift for speaking. And I said, no, instead buy 50 of my books. one for everybody that was in the audience that day. We've had an author, really well-known guy that was with a traditional publishing house. Came on and did his marketing for him and book launch for him. He traded out he has a private plane and all that kind of stuff, but he traded out his travel and his expenses because he was going to New York anyways. And he said, instead of paying for my hotel and everything, I want you to incorporate the books. So it's just a great way you can add the books in. So think about doing that. Then another powerful thing is to send your books out. So make a list, and every month you're sending a certain number of books out, whether it's 10, 20, or 50 to your ideal prospects. So also works for speaking, like when you're applying for those speaking places, if you can get the address, send the book to the client, to that person, or you can always send the ebook. I'm going to give you a flip book today, and you just put your name and email address, your contact information in there, and then they'll get the digital book. Or you can just give them a PDF. It's not as sexy as the flip book. Flip book is better. Or you can give them if you do an audiobook, you can give them an MP3 of the audio. But think about if you're sending how many books out a month, how many clients you could get from that. Then there's also, depending on your niche, being a TV background, right? We were all news when we started, that we would look at people to come on. We called them hits, to say when you see an expert come on the news and talk about a certain topic. So you could do that as well. So they're always looking to interview authors and people. If you're starting local, they're always having, as a TV station, again, there's not as many eyeballs, but the idea of being on television is you're just getting that asset of the video of you being on there that you can put on social media. And it still has some credibility because not everybody gets on TV still. So what I would do is start with your local stations, because they have to have so much community service TV. So a lot of times they have talk shows that come on that are local in the morning, places like that. So send it out to the producers of the local TV stations. Okay. Then bulk sales. All right, I think this is a secret weapon, the bulk sales, that people just don't think about. We always think about selling one book at a time on Amazon, right? Or on Ingram, or wherever your book is distributed. So the bulk strategy is, what if I could sell 100 books at one time? What if I could sell 1,000 books at one time? And that's part of what I'm talking about, like incorporating into the speaking fee. But what if you offered it to, I don't know, if you're health and wellness, that you're offering it to an insurance company, a book on health and wellness or longevity, that, hey, we're going to offer this book free for all of your clients. And we always think about the physical book, right? Which you can do that, tie the physical book in. But a lot of times we don't think about offering the digital book or the audio book, which costs you almost nothing. So a strategy for that is two things. You can say, I will give you either my ebook or audiobook for a certain amount of downloads, right? I'll give you 10,000 downloads, 1,000 downloads, 500 downloads, whatever it might be. Or you can offer it unlimited downloads for a certain period of time. For 1 month, I'll give you unlimited downloads. For the year, I'm going to give you unlimited downloads. So think about companies that you can partner with, whether it's their employees or it's that they want to give a gift to their clients or customers, that they could offer it as a gift. This was a while back, but there was an author who had a soup cookbook, and they partnered with Nabisco Crackers. Nabisco Crackers gave away a link to a free book every time you bought so many crackers. So just think about partnerships that way, that you can sell mass quantities of your book, because I just think that's something we don't think about. And it's really a great way to make a bigger chunk of money with book sales. So that's a secret weapon. Oops. Let me see. Okay.
Melanie, while you're paused there, Anne has her hand up again.
Okay.
So Anne?
Can you clarify then with these book sales, if you are offering free downloads, how is that empowering your income? What is the exchange?
You charge them for it. So let's say for a download, each download, you're going to charge them $2 or $3 or $5 or 50 cents, whatever you want to charge them. So let's say for 10,000 downloads, it's $10,000.
I see. So the company is only having to spend $1 for this gift, and yet because of the numbers you're compounding.
Correct. Mhm.
Okay, now I understand. Okay,
Yep.
thank you.
Sure. All right, here's just an overview.
And Kim has a question too for you, Melanie.
Okay.
Hi, Melanie. My question is, how much red tape is there really when you're sending out your speaker one sheet and you're sending them a free book monthly, as you've suggested? How much red tape do you encounter in that process?
So the red tape depends again how you're doing it. So let's say you're committed to do, I have a friend, he commits to do 20 books a month and he does them himself. He just pops them in a mailer. He's got it's like I don't know, the $7 mailer or whatever. It's one price for all that envelope, and puts a letter in there, and he sends it 20 books out a month. He goes to different events and different things, and then he's mailing the book out. So that would be red tape, right? Also red tape would be put them in your CRM. Once you have them, you want to put that contact in your contact information. The other way to do it is if you hire a fulfillment company, then you're just letting them know with the names and addresses every month you're giving them. We have a dream, we call it the Dream 100 list. So I'm sending them the list, like every month they're getting 50 names, and then they do all the work. I pay them for it, but then I don't have to worry about it. It's just done. So,
Thank you.
but then you had the first question about what was before the mailing of the books. There was another part that you said, Anne, in that question that I think I didn't answer.
Kim.
Are you there still?
I think you answered it, Melanie.
Okay. All right, good. All right. And I didn't remember what our time frame was, Kathy. So I hope I'm still in the
Yeah, we want to have a hard stop at the top of the hour, so we're
Okay,
good.
good. Okay, so this is an overview. It's not showing my whole, oh, there we go. So you've got bulk sales that we just talked about, right? Your email nurturing campaigns, your social media, podcast appearances, media placement. And the media placement that's going to do is give you SEO, right? So when people search your name, not only is the book going to come up, but they're going to see articles written about you. And then authority building, which the book gives you with the speaking, consulting, and credibility. There we go. Okay, so this is really cool. I want you to think about, I get back to that page. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna go twice. I knew it would do twice. Okay, stop. Okay. Repurposing your content. Repurpose your content. So I want you to think about, I'm going to teach you some ways to repurpose your content on this call. So you're not like, all right, how am I going to do that? That sounds overwhelming. So your book contains months and months of content in it, and we very rarely use it as authors. So I want you to think about turning your book into blog post, your emails, email newsletters, social media, carousels, short-form videos, different podcast episodes you can create. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of pieces of content in your book. And we've proven this. We've created so much content with our new book that came out. So also, I want you to keep pitching to get podcast appearances. Why are podcast appearances so important? It's because you're borrowing somebody else's audience that has your ideal customer or ideal reader in it. So suddenly you're being exposed to them. Like just now, like Kathy's exposing me to her audience by having me on here. So you're going to bring value to your podcast, but then you're going to get exposed to a whole new audience. Does that make sense? All right, then. Okay, now the fun part, which I love, is the AI-powered marketing tools. So there's a lot of different tools that you can use to automate these things. We talked about the CRM and the email sequences, and then AI can help you target and identify your ideal readers. And then you can use those tools to repurpose. By patient. This will go to the next page, which is my fun stuff. Oh, here we are. Okay. All right. It's like it takes a minute to get there, and then okay, this is where I want to be. All right, so these are the tools. All right, these are the tools that I love. Notebook LM. So Notebook LM, what we've done with our book is we've uploaded the whole book, and then we uploaded each individual chapter. And then you can create so many cool things from that. You can create quizzes, flashcards, infographics, video, so many different things you can create. And I'm going to show you that. Slides, I use Gamma. Gamma is what I made this slideshow with. And I'm going to really show you how much I cheated on this slideshow. Kathy's going to be like, Melanie, I thought you spent a lot of time preparing for this. I know the content in my head inside and out, but what I did is I took Kathy's description of what I was teaching you today, and I put it in Gamma, and it created all these slides for me. So I just added a few things and edited a few things, and it took about 30 seconds for it to do that. Isn't that crazy? Then there's another tool that I like called Oasis. So Oasis can take your long form content and turn it into a suite of social media assets, from TikTok scripts to New York Times articles. So I'm going to show you some of these right now. All right, so this is Notebook LM. So this, I didn't do this is not each chapter of the book, but this is, I put marketing ideas, I put a whole book in here, and then I put another whole book in here with marketing things. So now it created, this is where you can create all these cool things. So here is an infographic that it created for me. And you might like it, you might not like it, but boom, there it was, done. Then it created, let's see which one this is. This is like a test, a little quiz, a summary. So it's a question and answer about the content of the book in here. It can create an audio overview. It can create a slide deck. Like I can generate that in real time. So there's tons of stuff that you can create right in here. A data table, a quiz, reports on it, video overview, and this all happens in a short period of time. So it's taking whatever you put over here on the left is the content it will use. It doesn't go out to the website. It just uses this. Then we're going to go over here to Oasis. So Oasis, this is something Jen created for a dental implant company that we were doing marketing for. So it has Explain It Like I'm 5. It did a TikTok script. It did a blog post, a YouTube script, an outline, a Twitter thread, an elevator pitch, an email, keywords, a LinkedIn post, a New York Times article, a summary, and then you've repurposed your content. So think about how cool that is, just doing that. This is still generating the slide deck. It's taken a second.
This is so cool. Melanie, question, are these free tools right now?
Yes, most of them are free, or if you want more advanced, sometimes it's $20 a month. It's super cheap. Gamma, I believe, is free. I use Gamma all the time. I've even used it to make sales pages. I want something quick. Someone wants a summary of some of the products that we have, and I'll use that in there. And then down. So just really cool stuff that this is the future. And I really want you guys to be utilizing this, because these tools are so easy to use, and just don't be intimidated by it. So ours is, like we say, is we call it FAFOing, F around and find out, right? Just go in, dive in. You can't really make a mistake, right? If it doesn't come out, you just do it again, or you go, oh, I didn't get it. So you just monkey around in there.
Yeah. We have a couple of questions. Cheryl had her hand up before and we didn't get to her. Cheryl, do you still have that question?
Yeah, thank you. So I'm wondering, when you're sending out you're committing to 20 books a month, are you reaching out to these people in advance to say, hey, can I send you a book? Or are you just dropping it in the mail and hoping for the best?
I've done it both ways. I've done it where I did an email drip campaign to the Dream 100 before I sent the book, and then let them know, hey, I'm sending you a present. It's coming in the mail. And then I've done it where I've just sent the book out. So I use this example. Let's say there's someone you want to get your foot in the door with, and you can't get in. There's a gatekeeper and the secretary and all that stuff. So, but if you send a package from Amazon, it's going to go on his desk. No one's going to open it but that person. Right? So suddenly they get a package from Amazon. You can't put a note with it, but suddenly they have your book in their hands. Huh.
Yeah.
Someone sent me this book. I wonder why I got this book. Don't you think they're going to be a little curious? They're going to open it up a little bit. I wonder why I got this book. That's cool. Oh, maybe I'm interested in it. Then I tell people, let's say it's a little bit bigger company. let's say you're like, I'm going to send it to the whole, I'm going to send it to the COO, CFO, CE, all the whole C-suite, HR department. So I'm going to send a book to 10 people at that office or everyone in that office. Now, if you send it with Amazon, they're pretty much all going to get it on the same day. So think about the conversation. Yeah, I got that book too. Did you get that book? Yeah, I got a book. What is this book? Don't you think they'll be talking about it?
Got it. Got it. Thank you. I usually send in my own envelope and do it that way, but it makes sense that they would open an Amazon package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
And
you.
it's easy.
Good.
You can just click and send. I've done that a lot. And then another great way I've done we have our own podcast. So when I interview somebody, I get their address and say, let me send you a book. And then I send them the paperback versus just giving them a digital book. The other thing I want to mention, since I just brought up podcasts, when you go on podcasts, you should have a purpose. You need to have a strategy when you're on the podcast, right? So you need to know where you want to lead them. Sure, you're going to talk about content from the book, but where do you want them to go at the end of that? And what do you want them to get? Do you have something that they can get? Again, you can get them into your ecosystem. Can you give them something for free? It shouldn't be the same thing that's in your book. It should be something different, because if they get your book, then they're going to get the link inside there. You can give away your book. People are like, oh, I don't want to give away my book. Give it away. If you're trying to get clients, if your goal is to get clients that are
Yes.
big clients, give the book away, because the book lets them get to know you, like you, trust you, and look at you as an expert.
Yes. Melanie, fabulous. Joanne Comiskey also had a question. Joanne.
Yes. Hi, Melanie. Thanks for being with us today. I'm going way back to something you said right in the beginning here is the QR code idea. Tell me again how you used that in your book, or I think there were a couple of ways you were using that. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, I should have a QR code in my book. So
yes, you should. You list what you want to give them. So come up with your bonus. It can be one thing or multiple things, right? So it could be, we always say, if first choice is something you already have, maybe it's something that didn't make the cut to be in the book. Maybe it's something else that you have in your Google Drive or your files that has value to it, some kind of PDF that's digital. You don't want to have anything physical that you have to send people. So once they get it, they're going to click on that. You're going to tell them what it is in the book. They're going to click on the QR code. That's going to take them to the page to give them their contact information. And then with your CRM, then it will automatically send them the digital thing once they put that in. Then if you're really advanced, and I got to say, we keep saying, I don't know why I didn't think about this before. I'm like, are we doing that? We tell our authors to do this, and then we weren't doing it ourselves. Is there a thank you page afterwards? After they give the contact information, it should go to another page that says, hey, thanks for getting our PDF. We appreciate you, whatever else you want to say. And maybe there's something there that you want to sell them. Hey, would you like to get our $29, $49, $99, blah, blah, blah. Would you like to become a member of our mastermind? Would you like to set up a call with me to become my client? Whatever that might be. But then the advanced portion would be to send them to the next page.
very good. Thank you.
Sure. Then, so just an overview, you want to start your marketing before the launch, execute all channels during the launch, right? All your email, social media, podcast, PR, bulk outreach, start making those lists. Treat your book like a perpetual asset. So it's an asset that gives you credibility and authority, but then it's a marketing tool after that. So it's something that you need to use on a regular basis. Repurpose that content, send it out to people, leverage it, because you've already done the hard work. It's like having a sales team without a sales team. Then, all right, now I know I gave you a lot of information, so I don't want you to be overwhelmed. Pick one or two of these strategies and implement it, whether it's getting your CRM, whether it's making your list of who you're going to be sending your book to, whether it's getting your social media set up, but pick one thing and complete it. Because if you're like me, I get 20 squirrels and I'm doing everything just a little bit. And then I'm like, I haven't completed it all the way. So pick one thing and get it done. And then you're going to feel really good that you accomplished that. And then over here, if you can get our free book, Be Recognized, that I was showing you today. And there's the
And
QR
Melanie, I
code.
love it that you're modeling for us what we should all be doing.
Yes. And now I want to, on a side note, is we just changed some of our CRM stuff, and I didn't have a QR code for either of these things. So normally I did ask someone on my team, hey, can you make a QR code for me? She's, oh, I'm out of the office this morning, I can't do it. And so I just searched AI, and I just had AI make me both QR codes. I was so proud of myself. So on the left, if you want to schedule, I do a 15-minute strategy call with you. You can schedule that with me on the left. And then on the right is our Be Recognized book. And I just had somebody from our another mastermind networking group that got this book. And at the end of the year, they said, what was the thing you learned the most from being in our networking group? And she said, Melanie's book. She goes, I got about 100 marketing ideas out of Melanie's book.
Yeah. Melanie, are you going to just briefly tell people the kinds of services, marketing services that you and your company offer?
Yes. So we do the email campaign. Sorry, I needed to scroll down. Thanks, Kathy. I didn't put together an offer. If you're looking, I can do that for you if you want me to put together something special, and Kathy can send it out to you. So we do email campaigns from start to finish, set up the CRM, set up the workflows, and write the emails. We write them in your voice. So we do an interview with you to capture your type of language. And then we do article placement. We do automated podcast interview outreach for you, where we create the emails. We search the 4 million plus podcast and find the right ones for your niche. And we send out 20 to 25 emails to different podcasts every day. And usually you're getting about 3 to 7 podcast interviews a month. And then we do USA Today bestseller. That includes a billboard in Times Square, as well as giving you 100 books that we send out to your ideal clients. And we donate 100 of your books to your charity. And then we give 100 books to your university of choice as well. And of course, we do Amazon bestseller too. So those are just some of the things that we do, that we offer, as well as full publishing packages with audiobook, hardback, paperback, and ebook. Did everybody get the QR codes?
Okay, so I know that the schedule link is working, but I think Helen's saying the book QR code is not working, but let me
try
maybe
that.
It just needed to be a little bigger here.
Let me try it. I thought I tried that and it went there, but maybe
it's not working.
Yeah, it's not working. Here, I was so bragging about myself that it worked, and now it's not working. You know what? Here, let me stop sharing. I'll actually grab the link and I'll put it in the chat to the flip.
Oh, that's even better. That's even better.
Are there any other questions?
So what questions do you have? We have a few more minutes that we can take some time to answer your specific questions. This was so good, Melanie. I love the fact that you've given us before, during, and after, because I think sometimes it just seems overwhelming as we're writing the book or finishing the book to think about the whole thing. So you just have to really think about, what should I be doing right now? And I like to say, do a little audit of your current business assets, your current business marketing assets, and think about, can you just include the book in all of those assets? It is just a really quick initial way to think about. Yeah. And Shelley has a question. Shelley, you have the floor.
And I see some questions in chat too.
Okay.
One of my questions is, I'm zooming on my phone, so I can't do the QR code. Can you put both links in the chat?
Yes.
Please.
Absolutely.
And then I have zero social media, which is not good. I know. I had a really bad experience with Facebook a few years ago, and I've just decided that I wasn't going to participate. And now with my book, I know that I need to. So I guess that's kind of how, if I have no presence, how do you start a presence before you launch your book?
Anytime is a good time to start. So just get started. Make your Instagram, make your TikTok page, connect your Instagram to Facebook. So when you're posting on Instagram, it automatically goes to Facebook. right? You can hire someone to help you. We do social media for our authors. We do all book-centric type stuff for them. But it's just, you just got to start. I think that's the big people. Oh, I don't have anybody. And then they don't do anything. But if you just start a new channel and start posting, guess what? Suddenly all of a sudden you're going to get found. And don't be discouraged if, oh, I only got 2 likes. I only got 3 views. You just got to start somewhere. And then I have a friend of mine, he's in a mastermind that we are here, Larry Barton, and he started, and I just told him, tell everyone you know, please follow me on Instagram. Oh, here's my Instagram link. Let me text you my Instagram link. Please follow me. And so now he's got 50 people that like his stuff, and he started out with nobody. So he just started telling everybody, please follow me. So it's part of that campaign before the book is coming out, is to start to grow that.
Okay.
And I can tell you, normally our videos don't get tons because we're very niche with book publishing. And I just did my son is really the video master. He does ESPN and all kinds of fancy people, but he's, Mom, you just need to be organic. You just need to he calls it yapping videos. You just need to yap. So I went on and did a yapping video, and I got almost 3,000 views. And normally I get 150. And I'm like, 3,000. He goes, see, I told you that's your best video ever. So it's just, again, just talking about your stuff. Oh my gosh, I had a crummy day doing my book today. If you're a writer, have you ever had one of those days that you're just writer's block? I drank 3 cups of coffee and it still didn't work. Just that kind of stuff. Or I had a great day writing my book today. Oh my gosh, I had an eye-opening thing on this chapter and it came to me, or whatever. It's just kind of doing, and it's intimidating. I get it. I was a newscaster, and you think I would be so fine with being on camera. I am great in a group like this. Or if I'm doing a podcast thing, I'm totally great. But you just put me in that darn phone camera, and I'm just like, and I'm so critical of myself. But if I'm on a Zoom meeting and doing a podcast interview, I don't know. It's easy, but I don't know. There's something about that. But the thing you have to remember, and this is what put me over the hump of doing it, there's a thing called the delete button. So if you don't like it, you just delete it and do it again. And what I've noticed is usually the first one I do is not as good as my 3rd or 4th try. And that's because I'm warmed up. I'm more in the zone. If you ever watch popular singers, if you see some of the documentaries, they're warming up in the background, right? They're doing vocal exercises. They're singing a little bit. They're doing all this stuff, and it gets them going. So just say, I'm going to do this. My first few videos, I'm probably just going to delete. I just want to get warmed up. And sometimes your first one might be your best one. You never know. So don't delete them until you've done like, you just need to start. And then someone had a question about,
Thank you,
about the implementation of intellectual property. So I had this question that came to me actually this morning from an author. So everything you do, think about this. People are like, oh, they might get she was asking about her notes and stuff from the back of the book. Is AI going to have that? I wanted to tell her, you're publishing a book that's public. You're putting it out to the world. So they're going to know it anyway. Your book is copyrighted the minute that you publish it. So it's free for all. Remember when we were all afraid to put our credit card into the internet to buy stuff? Remember when we were afraid to do all the things that we do now that we don't think about? So don't let that stop you. You just need to go forward and think about it. Really, do criminals want my book about longevity or my note? No, they don't. They really don't. Do they want my book about be recognized and all my AI tips and author tips? No, they really don't. But is someone going to plagiarize it? You can get enough stuff out there from anywhere in the world. So just move forward is my advice on that.
I could totally concur, Melanie. To be a thought leader means you have to have your thoughts out there so that people will follow you. So part of the risk of being a thought leader is, people are going to copy you. They're going to think, wow, that's a great idea. I'm going to follow that. I want to write that down. So absolutely. Melanie, this has just been a treat. You have given us so much information. And remember, everybody, you don't have to do all of these things, but you do have to do something. And you do need to get started now, no matter where you are in the process. So reach out to Melanie. She has a wonderful team. She has wonderful resources that she can provide to you. So schedule that call and talk to her, see how you might work together. come back here every month. We have a program, a masterclass on some topic that is of interest to authors. So I hope you'll join me again. And somebody asked the question, is this being recorded? Yes. So all of you who registered, you will receive a link so that you can watch it and get all the information that you caught or that you didn't catch the first time. So thanks again, Melanie. Fabulous job. Thank you, everyone, for joining and your great questions. Go out there and make your mark, everybody. Bye-bye now.
Kathy, thanks so much for having me. Bye-bye.
Hey, Kathy.